Was there any one song you enjoyed working on the most when you were mixing, mastering, or doing the overdubs?
I love all the songs in that album so much. I'd say the two that always, well, there are three, I guess, that really stand out to me. Immigrant Song, of course,
Hmm.
because of it was harkening back to the previous Zeppelin power and heavy rock
Hmm.
sound. Uh, so I just love that, and I love the little sounds at the beginning. I was about to cut them off and
Really?
just start it with the. Well, that's what you do. There's always sounds before the music starts.
Hmm.
And I said, "Well, do we want to cut these here?" And Jimmy, "No, no, 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 no. I want those sounds." So we put a repeat echo thing on it, a tape echo tape loop on the thing, so it would go instead of it would go
That's so
and
cool.
repeat.
Yeah.
So just things like that, because Jimmy, I had already been mentored by some amazing people,
Uh-huh.
uh, Bobby Fuller, Steve Cropper, John Fry, Booker T. I mean, so many people that had Willie Mitchell that had taught me things, whether they knew they were teaching me or sometimes or not. I was just sponging it up. But from Jimmy too, he taught me a lot of cool esoteric things,
Hmm.
like that. I wouldn't have thought. Let's keep that funny noise at the beginning and double it, triple it, repeat it. So I was, oh, cool, thank you. So anyway, that song, Immigrant Song, was wonderful. So Zeppelin, because I think
Yeah.
we got into that one first for mixing, and I was just, ooh, wow, this is Zeppelin. And then when the acoustic things came, of course, it's, wow, this is different. But I remember Jimmy uh, shimmying. I'll call it, his
Huh.
shoulders would go back and
Okay.
forth,
Yeah. Yeah.
dancing in a sort of a dance kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
And he, when the thing would just get right, the mix would be just right, or it was really rocking, and he was shimmying. You knew you had it. Okay, this is going to be it. We've got the mix now. Of course, it was 16 track. It's not like today where you may have 100 tracks
Hmm.
or 80 or 60 or whatever. 16 is all we had, and then thank goodness because it was perfect.
Hmm. That is
So, but yeah, I just was awed by the power of that one.
that is so cool. Did you guys have to do any overdubs for that song?
I don't remember the overdubs. There weren't a lot. There was a little bit of overdubbing. I think we did one drum or percussion thing uh, with John, and then Jimmy did a couple of acoustic things, maybe one electric thing. Robert came and did one part of a song on vocal. I don't remember if John Paul Jones was there or not. I don't think so. Pretty sure he wasn't. But the overdubbing went fairly quickly once the people were there to do it. Quick stuff just to fix a little bit or make something a little better than it was. And then, so I'd say 90+% of everything was the mixing. So I don't remember on which songs we overdubbed.
Hmm.
It's just, it flew so fast. And to be honest, it's a while ago. It's what,
It's a long time ago. Yeah. It was
52,
released in 70.
52 years ago or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. It's gonna be it was released in October of 1970. So yeah, it's gonna be 52 years this year. That's crazy. But I mean,
Wow.
it
Oh,
holds up. Like I mean, the fact that it holds up, it really speaks for how powerful everything came together, including the mixing, of course. So when you first heard that song in its completed form, did it were you as excited as when you first heard it as you were working on it? Like what did you think of the process and then the completed package that you got?
it's funny when you're working. As I've mentioned before, I was a huge fan of Led Zeppelin and the Yardbirds and Jimmy, and everybody involved in the whole thing. I was just as big a fan as there could be of it. But when you're working on it, you've got to leave fanboy away. You can't
Hmm.
do that. You're there to work. You're concentrating on whatever's right in front of you at that moment. And so you don't think of the songs or the project as a whole or the album or whatever you would call it
Hmm.
as you were listening to it for enjoyment. You just don't do that. You're analytical. You're scrutinizing everything you do. You're trying to make the bass better, the bass drum better, the whatever you're working on. You're just working on it. So I honestly never heard the entire album as in an enjoyment capacity
Hmm.
until we were mastering it. and we just kind of let it all play from beginning to end. And I was quite blown away. We
Yeah,
did that.
that's
Well,
cool.
they did that. I did a little bit, but of course they did that mostly. But it did knock me over hearing it back. And that's the first time I ever heard the power of each individual song, and especially the power of the album as a whole.